Hey guys, we are here with our mid-year market update for 2026, looking at what has happened so far this year in our local real estate market as compared to this same time frame, first half of the year for 2025. Give you some context on kind of where we are in market, and then we're going to have Jared Hudson with Ironcrest Mortgage step in and give us the latest rundown on what's happening with interest rates and outlook for interest rates for the remainder of this year. So let's dive into some numbers here. We're going to look at, starting with Muskogee and Harris County, how things have closed out so far for the first half of 2026. There have been 1,264 closed sales as compared to last year for this same time frame. It was about 1,231, so that's about 2.7% increase. So numbers up slightly, nothing crazy. I mean, I would probably equate that to kind of a relatively flat market, no major changes, but a slight increase. So that's good. Average time on the market has been 46 days on closed sales. This time last year, it was 43 days. Average sales price so far this year is right at about $295,000. And for this same time frame last year, it was about $282,000. So that's up about 4.5%. There are currently 643 active listings. This time last year, there were 529. So we've got a little more inventory in the market right now. Currently, there are 348 pending sales. This same time last year, there were about 298. So we've actually got some increase in what's projected to be some closed volume for this same time from last year to this year. So that's exciting. I'm glad to see we've got movement. Closed volume so far for this year is about 373 million. This time last year, it was about 347 million. So that's an increase of about 7.35% on those numbers. Looking at Russell and Lee County, there have been 640 closed sales, excluding Auburn. This time last year, it was 592 closed sales. That's about an 8% increase so far for this year in total closed sales for Russell and Lee County. Average days on the market, 46 days. This time last year, about 44 days, so no major change there. Average sales price so far this year on closed sales is $306,000. This time last year, it was $292,000, so that's about a 4.6 increase, 4.62% actually. Active sales, there are currently 337 active listings. This time last year, about 302. So again, we've got a little more inventory in the market. There are currently 167 pending sales. This time last year, there were 176. So we see a few less pending sales on the Alabama side versus the Georgia side of our market. Average closed volume, total closed volume so far this year is about 196 million. This time last year, it was about 173 million. So that's about a 13% increase. So what does all of this mean? That's a very good question. Thank you for asking. What this means is we're in a relatively healthy, stable market comparatively. And that's kind of tricky because there are segments of our market where we are seeing longer days on market, less activity. Some of that has to do with maybe specific location or price points where we're seeing that. But overall in the market, things are pretty stable. We are seeing little longer time on the market than we did, 5 years ago. Looking at that 45-day range on the market. What that means, though, is that buyers are taking a little more time to make those decisions. Their decisions are a little more thoughtful. What that means for you as a seller is it's very important to price strategically with the market. The idea that you price high, hoping for great negotiations or whatever, it's not a great strategy in this market. Buyers are savvy. They have a lot of information at their fingertips online. It's very recognizable if something is not priced well in the market. So it is important to price with the market based on your goals and what the market is for your property. There's average negotiation happening. So we're seeing, kind of a normal negotiation of sorts. Every now and then we still see some multiple offer situations, but that's not happening all across the market. And even in those multiple offer situations, we're not seeing highly inflated numbers as far as offer prices, and still seeing relatively average negotiation with seller contribution towards closing and some other things as a part of that average market. So all in all, market is relatively healthy considering, and things are moving. Again, activity is up for the first half of this year overall compared to last year. Pending sales, up on the Alabama side, maybe down a little bit on the up on the Georgia side, maybe down a little bit on the Alabama side. But all in all, numbers looking across both, market is moving. So anyhow, that is the dish on the market. Now let's join Jared here, or Jared's going to join us to give us information on what's happening with mortgages. Where are we in the mortgage world, interest rates, what's happening? Tell us.
Yeah, so right now it's a little bit of a roller coaster, but rates are still fairly stable. So conventional, we're going to be around the 6.5, FHA, VA around 6.2.
Okay.
So nothing drastic has changed. If we could get the conflict kind of settled down overseas, we do expect rates to come down a touch.
And that has definitely been a factor. When we started this year in January, we really there was not anticipation in our market of there being a war that was going to impact how things were going to be going in real estate and how things are going everywhere, really. So that definitely was a little bit of a game changer. We had really hoped that we were going to see a little bit better year than what we've been seeing in the real estate market from an interest rate standpoint and everything. Let's say that the conflict truly ended. I know we keep getting these snippets of, oh, it's over, and then the next day it's not really over. Yeah. So let's say we really get to it's over and it truly is, agreements are come to. What is the projection if that happens, when that happens?
Well, it would be nice if we could get conventional down to about a 6.3, 6.35, and then get VA, FHA around that 5.99.
Yeah.
That would be a wonderful start for us. The biggest thing right now is just the oil inflation, which is generated from the conflict. So if we could get that resolved, we do expect rates to come down a little bit.
Okay. And just so that everybody understands, is there any projection that you're hearing out there at all of rates this year across the board being under 6%?
No.
Okay,
we are not hearing
the honest
that.
answer.
Yes.
I know it's not what you want to say, but I needed the honest answer, the truth for everyone.
No, nobody is predicting that because nobody is sure what is going to happen with the conflict right now. Yeah. That is the biggest stickler, which the oil inflation is starting to creep up. They're worried about the oil reserves, and that's driving the bonds, which affects our rates. So no, we are not hearing that the rates are projected to get down.
I kind of knew that answer, but I was like, I'm going to put him on the spot and make him answer it here for everyone. So all that to say, again, stable, is that kind of how you would
from a
characterize?
Day-to-day, we're not expecting any major spikes, but we're also not expecting any major dips.
So you heard it here. Everything's kind of status quo. From this year to the last year, we've got some increases this year, but relatively flat. No major increases in anything. No major increase in sales price. No major increase in pending. No major increase in active listings, sold listings, all of that. It's all, still continued incremental growth. But the one thing that I want to reiterate, and I know I've said this many times before, and you're going to hear me keep saying it, is if you are on the fence, especially if you are renting, sitting and waiting on the market is not a good plan. And I say that because if you are renting, you are paying 100% interest right now. You are gaining nothing. You are building somebody else's wealth. And every year since we started these market updates in 2020, every quarter, every year, the average sales price has continued to go up. So if you wait another year, 2 years, whatever that is, nothing over the last 6 years has fallen in our market. So every year, average sales price up, which means a home that you could have bought 2 years ago is going to cost you more today. And the longer you wait, we're not seeing a let up of that increase at this point. So, that's good news, bad news. The hard part is, yes, as a seller, you love to hear average sales price keeps going up. That's equity. That's all the good things. As a buyer, it's not as positive to hear that, because in a market where it's already tough to buy a house, where it's already financially taxing with interest rates, closing costs, all the things, now the home price keeps going up. But what I'm here to tell you is if you keep waiting, the situation only continues to increase projected. So, stop sitting on the fence waiting for some miracle thing to happen in the market. Let's figure out where you are now, what your affordability is now, and find you a great home to start building your own investment, start building your own wealth. Quit paying somebody rent and building their wealth.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that.
All right. Okay. Well, that's it. That's all we've got for you until the end of third quarter. We'll be back here giving you all the final breakdown on how third quarter has gone. But this is the market update for the first half of 2026. You know what to do if you've got questions, concerns, if you want to talk about pricing and what your home may be worth if you're thinking about selling or buying. You can call me, Kim Mixon, 706-332-6349. Jared, how do they reach you?
706-681-9797, and the email is jhudson@ironcrestmortgage.com.
Jared Hudson, the Iron Man at Ironcrest Mortgage.
Woo woo.
How's that? Yes, love it. All right, you guys have a great rest of the summer, and we will see you again after third quarter.